Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Debbie. I'm one of the community agents at CCS, and I'm joined today by my lovely colleague Emily, who's also one of the community agents. And I've got two lovely guests joining us today. I have Claire Bagnall Hunt, who is from Alzheimer's. She's one of the fundraisers, and lovely Jackie Punter, who is a dementia support worker. So we're going to be talking a little bit today about dementia and assistive products that can help you in your everyday life if you're suffering with dementia. So let's start with you, Jackie, if that's all right. Can you tell us a little bit about dementia and what you do and how you support people out there?
Yes, certainly. Hi, I'm a dementia support worker, which means that we go and consult with people who have had a diagnosis or are on their journey towards a diagnosis, or their carers, their family, their friends, and we help them have an easier life through that journey by putting in coping strategies, talking about the diagnosis and the changes it brings, because it's not just about the memory. So, do you know what dementia actually is?
Well, I might be wrong, but my understanding is that it's just caused by different diseases that affect the brain. Is that right?
Absolutely, and there's quite a few of them. But if you think about the word dementia, where it's commonly used, think of that as being an umbrella. When all the rain falls, it falls on the umbrella at the same time. And the word dementia itself is all the common symptoms to memory loss. But as everything falls off, you get your individual raindrop, individual raindrop coming off, which means that's how it manifests. But also, the raindrops will fall at a different speed, but they also fall sometimes with common symptoms. And the main ones that we worry about really is Alzheimer's disease, vascular dementia, mixed dementia, which is usually the Alzheimer's and the vascular, but it can be a different mix. Dementia with Lewy bodies and frontal temporal, but there is actually over 100 different types, so there's quite a lot. And we also have a rare disease team that can also help with anything that's more involved.
Great. Okay.
We're here in South Somerset, so at the end you can come and we'll put the name up and you can get our telephone number if you have any worries.
Brilliant. Thank you. And, I mean, when you think of dementia, you often just think it's just about sort of losing your memory, but actually there are lots and lots of other symptoms, aren't there? It isn't just about losing your memory, and it can affect people under the age of 65. I was reading, which I was
Yeah,
surprised about.
yeah, we've I think our youngest person is around early 30s that we
Really?
support. So, and there have been more people diagnosed earlier, and that's basically, I think, because a little bit more knowledge is coming around, but also doctors have a better diagnosis and they're getting more on board with diagnosing rather than having to send people to memory consultants straight away. It's slightly different pathways now as to which you need to go, but the memory is, as you say, it's anywhere in the brain that could be affected, and parts of the brain will always give you different parts of what you're going to do in life, whether it's a word, an action, a memory, a smell. So you don't know what's going to be lost until you're not doing it. And it's not until perhaps a group of these cells have been lost that people realize that actually there's something in a sequence that's not quite right. And so it can be oncoming for quite a while before anybody actually realizes that they have something that's
Yeah,
wrong.
I was gonna ask that actually. You know, at what point do you think there is something wrong? This isn't just because I'm getting old and I'm forgetting things, because we all tend to do that to a certain degree, don't we? We all walk into a room and wonder why we walked in there because we've forgotten why we've gone in there. Um, so it's knowing yourself and your body, and you would know, wouldn't you? You'd know in yourself that actually something isn't quite right, because
Yeah,
it's not just losing my memory. There are lots of other things that have now perhaps formed into place
absolutely.
that are
And
making me
that's right.
drop.
And you say about your memory, you go into a room and we go back out to where we were to remember what it was. We go back into the room again and we
Mm,
find it. But if you're doing that multiple times and then not remembering what you wanted at the end, or you find a car key that's not quite, you think, what is a car? That's when you stop to think,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
something might be a little bit wrong.
yeah. And sorry,
I
Emily,
was,
go
I was
on.
just gonna, I was just going to chip in. So I caught the end of a program on TV last night about
Yeah.
dementia, and it was interesting. So there was one lady that her eyesight was, or she thought her eyesight was failing, getting worse, but actually it was her brain had sort of stopped processing the images properly, and I just didn't even know that was a thing. So that's kind of, you know, there's obviously a large range of symptoms that people could have that you wouldn't necessarily think were dementia.
Absolutely. That's things where the perception for the optical nerves and that may be damaged, and that's at the back. But things like if you're at a kitchen sink and you've got tiles on the wall, the grout can appear further towards you. And so you go to pick things up and it may not be there because you think, and also if there's a colour and the colour is the same between maybe the top and the floor, when you look down, you miss the top because you can't see the edge because it's all one colour.
Because colours are really important, aren't they, for people that have dementia? You know, you can have, I've seen different kind of plates, and there are certain colours that work really well for dementia sufferers. What is there a set colours, and what are those colours that are better for people with dementia?
That's a difficult one, really, because it depends on what your perception of colour is, because there's so many different colours, colour blindness, reds and greens, oranges, they all get muddled up. The colour palette is something different. But try to keep it plain. That's all I can say. Is it's like if you're making a cup of tea, you go out in the kitchen and you've got 2 cups, and then you have a tea caddy and a teapot. When you're looking down, effectively you've got 4 circles. So which ones you put water in? But if you've got it colour and it's a plain colour, that cup will stay on that top, and you'll be able to try and remember that maybe the 2 red cups are cups that you put the water in, whereas the others are tea caddy and the teapot. So if it's patterned, it could also be perceived as moving.
Right.
So that can make it difficult as well, which is why keep it as plain as possible. But the colour that you can remember is the colour to go for.
So like a patterned carpet, for example, would be really feel really uncomfortable for somebody looking at that has dementia, because that would really, if you say if it looks like it's moving, that'd be quite disconcerting, isn't it? If you're looking at the floor and you think it's moving. So what can we do then to help ourselves, or you know, if we've got dementia or a loved one with dementia, to continue leading, you know, a really active life and to carry on things, you know, doing the things that matters to them and keep independent?
Yeah, it's trying to reduce the risk. So it's sort of diet, exercise, and healthy eating. And it's easy for me to say that. But if you've got any mobility issues on top of that, that also is stopping your independence, really. And it's things like simple things like watching the TV. Perhaps your hearing goes and you want the subtitles on. This remote then becomes a little bit too busy. And so you want to simplify it in some way. And use different aids to help you to, you know, grab rails or different things. It's using those aids to keep you independent, but also support, I suppose, to help with learning that as well, because learning new things have to be quite a simplistic way. Routine, getting things into routine.
Okay.
Different things.
Lovely. I think that leads us quite nicely on to Claire. Claire's going to share with us today a short presentation and talk us through some of the assistive products that are available to help people that are affected by dementia. So I will pass it over to you, Claire.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Debbie. And like you say, Jackie's led me quite nicely onto our assistive products. So remotes in our shop, which are simplifying the instructions for people, so that you can click onto your favorite channels without too much sort of anxiety around it. So hello and welcome to Helpful Everyday Products. So this is our catalogue that we launch every year, and I'll just talk you through what's in the catalogue. It is just a small selection of the bigger range that we have available online. But the sole aim of a lot of these assistive products, or adaptive products, some people call them, is basically that they've been designed with a purpose in mind, and that is to kind of simplify things and make it easier for people living with dementia to live independently as long as possible in their own homes. So this is where technology has gone, no, we thought we were going to move, but we're not going to. Bear with me.
Are you having technical issues,
I
Claire?
am, but may need to find my mouse. Here we go. Let me go to this screen, and then I think it should. She says, let me do it.
Well done.
Yay, we've
Perfect.
got there. Okay, lovely. So what are our helpful everyday products? So I will read a little bit off the screen, but I'll also tell you a little bit more for each page as well. So Alzheimer's Society's online shop sells a wide range of assistive products to help people affected by dementia to live better and longer in their homes. And we call these helpful everyday products. And they help with the everyday challenges that are faced by people living with dementia and their carers as well. And so the range of helpful everyday products include things like easy to use telephones, clocks and watches, reminders, and I will come back to that one, adaptive clothing, home safety devices, tactile and sensory products, and a wide range of games and activities. And what we did find, particularly last year, is sales products to help combat isolation, which had increased during lockdown, did increase. So a lot of people were seeking ways to help combat loneliness and also give them something to do that was easy for them to do in the absence of a lot of their sort of care and support structures sort of tumbling down a bit in lockdown. I'll just move on to the next slide. So when we're choosing products to put into our catalogue and put on the shop, we take a lot of care to try and ensure that they are the best selection that we can find to help people. So the products are also tested and reviewed by people living with dementia and their carers through the Alzheimer's Society's Dementia Voice Network and other services. Our products during lockdown, so prior to the pandemic, the products we'd get a group of people together and we would be in the same room with the products and we'd test them. During lockdown, that wasn't possible, so what we did instead was moved it onto Zoom. So products were sent to people at their homes, which was quite good because they got the chance to kind of use them in situ, really. And then it was reviewed on Zoom, so everyone gets together. And that was brilliant, actually, because it allowed us to invite in product designers and suppliers who might not have been able to travel to the location to join in, or the room was a bit too small. So it was really useful, and particularly the feedback, as some of it can be very honest. So yeah, it's good for suppliers to hear that as well. And actually, when we do one of these panel reviews on our products, the reviews are featured online and they form the basis of consumer panel articles in the Alzheimer's Society's Dementia Together magazine. So it'll be there online. You can often refer back to those, and there'll be links usually from the products on the online shop where we've panel reviewed something. And again, we also share the feedback that we get from reviews, and even reviews that are posted live online with the site will feed back to suppliers to help them sort of improve products and instructions, particularly where next generations of things are coming about, or where you might get the option to do like a different colorway or something like that. So going forward, I think we'll probably do a blend of in-person reviews. I've got my first proper in-person one again next month. And then because the room's a bit small, we're also inviting people in to the same meeting online too. So going forward, it'll be nice to have that blend. So best products at the best prices, and this is probably one of the critical ones for an online shop. As part of our evaluation process, we also carry out competitor reviews. So we will go and find out, who else is selling these kind of assistive products, what price are they selling them at. If there's a vast difference between what we were selling it at and they're undercutting us, we might go back to the supplier and say, what can you do about this? Or has the price changed? How can we make it cheaper? Or is this a flash in the pan thing? And, they won't last another couple of months before they're back on, a higher retail price. So really critical kind of observing of the marketplace, basically. And that helps us make informed decisions about what products we should be selling in this ever-changing sector. I mean, one of the things that's happened a lot recently is with all the shipping problems. So we're finding stock is taking a lot longer to come in. So instead of maybe 8 weeks for something to come from abroad, particularly if it's had components in it, if it's something like an electronics radio or something that relies on electronics, it's taking maybe 12 weeks to come from abroad rather than 8 weeks. And a lot of our suppliers that we're working with at the moment are trying to hold components prices down to the same price that they were pre-pandemic, so that we're able to still keep offering the best products at those best prices. So it's always a bit of a juggling feat, but it's fun to look at what's out there, and also by looking at your competitors, you come across products that you haven't seen before. So we're not averse to stealing an idea either. So VAT relief, and it all surprises me how few people are still aware of this. So many of our helpful everyday products are available VAT-free to people with dementia, or if they're over 60, for some instances, some products, it's age-based, and if you've got a qualifying medical condition as well. So, and that it doesn't have to be bought by the person who's got that condition. It can also be someone like a carer or someone that's buying on their behalf. And that'll save the VAT element, so it's 20% off the price. So when you look on our shop, you'll see that those products that are eligible for VAT relief, they're clearly highlighted in pink what the VAT relief price would be. And so that's also echoed in our Helpful Everyday Products catalogue as well. And so if you're thinking, oh, I might be eligible, you would go on the government's website, so that's .gov.uk, and you can just put in a search for, I think probably, you could probably search VAT release and am I eligible for VAT relief? And it'll come up basically sort of saying, what are the criteria for being eligible? But there's more products than you think. So I'm always surprised when people don't take up that option to get 20% off straight away. Excuse me, I'm just flipping my notes over. So Helpful Everyday Products catalogue. In addition to purchasing from the online shop, customers and supporters can also order a selection of assistive products via the catalogue. And this catalogue is published annually in May, and it showcases the best-selling and brand new products. So just after Christmas finishes, and we've gone through the January sales, I will then start talking to suppliers who I've been looking at their catalogues and products, and I've just been to a show up in Birmingham, and we're looking for those new products or products that have been developed on a stage, and to see what we can put together in the catalogue. So then I'll spend a couple of months sort of getting the copyright and getting images from the suppliers, or doing our own photo shoot. Although less so in the pandemic, we were more reliant on suppliers providing their images. So we put that catalogue together. We proofread it several times to try and spot all the mistakes, which there's always some. They always escape us. It's that kind of familiarity of it, I think, where you just don't see your own mistakes. But we publish that in May, and that will carry right through till the following May. And yeah, we can't fit everything in, but it is a good showcase for the newer lines. So within the catalogue, we have these sort of sections, and these will also follow across into the online shop. So clocks and watches, they help people with dementia keep track of the day and the date, and it helps support independence. And we sell a wide range to help with different needs, including reminder clocks as well. And the reminder clocks are quite amazing. They are becoming more and more clever, but more and more simple to use, which is lovely. Again, we panel test a lot of these ones, but they can remind you to do things like have a drink, take any tablets. They'll let you know if there's a forthcoming appointment. And the latest show that I've just been to in Birmingham, where a lot of new technology was being promoted, was demonstrating a lot more reminder products. I think we'll see a lot of growth in this area. So this is something that I'm keeping an eye on as good products for us to have in the future. And phones, we sell easy to use mobile and corded phones, ones that have landline or don't need Wi-Fi, so different range of things, basically to help people stay in touch. And they always feature things like large buttons, Some have the ability to slot little photos onto the buttons to make it easier for people with dementia to recognise them. They usually have things like they're good for hearing aids, or they can be boosted so that they're really loud or quietened down, or they've got little lights on. So we have quite a big range. We also have a selector tool on the online shop as well, so you can kind of tick up to 4, I think it is, to compare and contrast different ones. But I've got one that I can show you an example of at the end as well. All of our mobile phones can take any SIM card as well. They're unlocked so that they can be used on any sort of package. Lovely. So music, another big section for us, and this was one of the sort of key areas, along with games and activities, that did really well in lockdown, and phones as well. So as well as bringing joy and memories, music can be very beneficial for people with dementia and help with communication, mood and behaviour. And so we have an increasing range of simple music players. So you can see the one there is the one button radio. It's literally on, off, with that one button on top, and the little panel at the front can be taken off, and you can pre-program it, hide it away, and then the person only has to like touch the button to hear their favourite music. So we're working with the supplier at the moment for the new generation of that one button radio. So that should be out fairly soon. It's already been panel tested by our panel testers, and they've had feedback, and so we've been tweaking it, so it'll come to market fairly soon. We've also got another radio and music player by another supplier that's literally just launched at the end of last month as well, so they're quite exciting and doing well. Reminiscence, bit of a strange subject heading, but it is basically products that can help with communication or engaging with people with dementia who would otherwise perhaps be a little bit quiet. So we've got a great range of products, including words, pictures, sounds, smells, anything to kind of trigger and stimulate memories and conversation, basically. Games and activities. I think across the UK, jigsaw puzzles boomed, and we weren't alone in that. You know, everybody in the UK was wanting jigsaws, and our jigsaws similarly sold extremely well and have continued to keep on selling well. So we've got a fantastic range of games and activities that are designed for people living with dementia, from you know, the early stages of dementia right through to quite advanced stages. And they're designed to support independence, communication, and basically have lots of fun. And again, I've got some samples I can show you at the end of some of these products. Sensory stimulation. So again, this is one of the things that can improve mood, trigger memories, and offer the opportunity for people with dementia to take part in different activities. And we've got products for all of the senses, like sight, smell, hearing, and touch. And we all know how important that is when you go, oh, remember that, and it's been triggered by the smell of something, or a piece of music that you've just heard. So it's a really important area for us as well. Oh, and just to show you that one, the bottom picture, fidget widgets, I will show you those later, but they were developed in conjunction with the supplier. So we quite often will work with suppliers to develop maybe an idea that they've had or an idea that we've had. And these fidget widgets are designed to keep people's hands busy, you know, where normally they maybe start unpicking the hem of a cardigan, or you know, just fiddling with something that maybe isn't safe for them to fiddle with. This is a good toolkit that we've been selling now for a few years. Again, dementia-friendly signs. This is something that we developed in conjunction with the supplier. So our dementia-friendly signs help people to maintain their independence, and the text contrasts with the background so that it's easy to read. And we've had input from people affected by dementia to develop what range of signs they would like, basically. And those signs, they're quite big, I think probably about 10 inches, I think. They can be used on almost any surface, and they can be removed without leaving marks and reused and used again, basically. And they come bigger ones and smaller little sticker book size as well. And so we've got signs for the home, offices, shops, cafes. You know, you can put them on cupboards, you can put them on key sets. So really useful little signs, basically. And again, if you just put into the website toilet, it will come up with an option of lots of different things that are all around the toilet. So our online shop is very much keyword led, and it will pick up the product code, or it'll pick up the proper title of the product, but it will also suggest other products based on a keyword, basically. So help around the home. So probably more in line with the catalogue. This is title. This is to help you around the home and help people living with dementia and their carers to live in their own home as long as possible. And so it includes things like garden tools, reminders, lighting, key fobs. And you can see in the picture there, we've got a tool there, which is also John, who was featured on the front cover of this particular catalogue. He was testing for us. And it's basically a cuff which allows you to put a lot of force behind your digging or raking or whatever without it actually hurting your wrists. So it's particularly good for people that have got very weak grip or haven't got the strength but love gardening and don't want to give that up. And the little cuff that you can see goes around the forearm there. You don't actually have to buy the whole tool. If you've got a perfectly good set of garden tools, you can fix that cuff onto it. There's like a little adapter, and it allows you to adapt your own tools. So you're not going to the expense of buying a whole new set of tools. So he was demonstrating that with his carrots, and this lady here was demonstrating her, I think, is it dahlias? I'm not very good at gardening. Maybe in another 20 years. I keep being hopeful that I'll get better as I get older. Anyway, eating and drinking, very important for lots of us. And like Jackie said, that sort of colour can be useful for helping people locate what's on their plate, but also, where the plate is. So we have a range of ceramic and melamine crockery that's designed for people with dementia. We have adapted knives and forks as well that help people sort of chase the food around the plate, or rather just to actually get it rather than chasing food around the plate. And we also have a nice range of clothing protectors, sort of like bibs basically, that look like scarves or look like nice draped pretty scarves basically. So that's something we're always looking for, is a product that fulfills the function but also has a nice design aesthetic to it as well where possible. And actually, this is a good example of it. So Easy Dress Clothing, we have a partner called the Able Label. They have a fantastic range of clothing for men and women, and it's all to make dressing easier. Now, Katie, who set up the company, set it up because her grandma was struggling to get into clothing. And at that time, Katie worked for a major high street retailer, clothing retailer. And so all of her designs, there's no overhead dressing or fiddly fastenings. Things look like they have buttons on the front, but actually quite often they're fake buttons, and behind it is a placket with special Velcro, which you can't tell. Now, they've got a huge range, which we can't show on our website. So what we do is we show a small selection of it, and you click through and actually end up on Able Label's website. And then for every purchase that somebody makes that's come from our shop, then they'll give an additional 20% to us. So that's an example of some of the partnerships that we have where they're such big companies in their own right, to sort of have them in with us is just too much. So yeah, far better to link with them. And yes, this is Black History Month this month, so really topical, but we're excited about our newest range of activities for people with African and Caribbean heritage from the Black Dementia Company. So lovely range of jigsaws and word searches and colouring books that all have Caribbean or African imagery, basically, just so that conversations can be topical to somebody's ethnicity. So Faye, who owns that company, she saw a gap in the market relating to her mother, and so she's gone on to develop this range of products, and we're happy to support those, and she's got some new products coming in shortly. So yeah, we're very pleased to be featuring those. We also work with Alzheimer's Society's innovation team to deliver new products. So the fidget widgets that I mentioned earlier were one of those collaborations. Jelly drops is another one. So we feature those on the shop. But jelly drops, if you've ever tasted them, really, they're like sweets. You cannot believe that they're not just sweets, but they are designed to hydrate people. They deliver a lot of water in them, and yeah, people love them. And so we're developing an in partnership range of products to ensure that people with dementia are able to input into the development of new products. So on the Innovation Hub on the website, people can suggest ideas that they'd like to see for products, and we will look at those and just see which of our suppliers might be able to help us do that, and we can perhaps develop these ideas in conjunction. So if you have an idea, get on the website and let us know. And we do know that people react differently to different products. So, you know, one thing that's brilliant for one person might be not at all right for another person. And also some people may be very wary of trying new things or find it difficult to learn and adapt to the new skills needed. And we like to emphasise that the person with dementia should be involved in the decision-making process, and their consent is given wherever possible. And we always urge people to seek professional advice and to check with their local authority as well to see if they're able to supply any of the products. And you can find extra guidance and information on our online shop about that. So you just go to shop.alzheimers.org.uk. And I'm sorry, I know it's a swear word for some people, but winter catalogue, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it because I'm right in the middle of it. I've got a month's sales of Christmas under my belt at the moment. So every year we refresh our range, and it includes a selection of branded Christmas cards, diaries and calendars, such as a memory calendar in the winter catalogue. And so whilst this catalogue has a selection of the helpful everyday products, I've selected the ones that have more emphasis as a gift you might give to someone for Christmas. But it's a great fundraising tool. I have sold thousands of packs of Christmas cards already. It might surprise you to know. So as I said, we'd love to know your thoughts on our product range and what you think might be helpful for you or people you know or work with. If you can go via the Innovation Hub, you can also email us directly at trading@alzheimers.org.uk. Always on the lookout for new products. Go to trade fairs a couple of times a year, both sort of standard gift fairs, but also the adaptive products and care home shows, anything that might give us ideas, or people are saying, oh, do you know what, I really wish this product existed. Then we've got a great number of suppliers who are just open to us suggesting basically and prototyping things. So yeah, and we have an innovations hub that will specifically put money into the best ideas as well. So that's all good. And so that's it from me. I do have some products that I can show you as well, and I'm happy to take questions.
I'd just say, Claire, thank you so much. That was really, really interesting and beautifully presented, despite the technical issue to start with. And I think we're all quite keen to see what gadgets and gizmos you've got there to show us all.
Okay.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, no particular order on this, just what's coming off my little table to the side. So this here is this is an example of one of our jigsaws. So the nice thing about this, as you'll see, is it's very thin. You can actually send that in the post yourself if you were to get that. And the nicest thing about this range of jigsaws is when you open it, you can see you've got the actual image of the jigsaw that you're making, and then you can actually make the jigsaw in the box as well, so you don't lose the pieces. So really nice. We have different sizes. So this one's a 63 piece one, and the biggest one that we do is a 100-piece jigsaw. And then we go right down to a 13-piece jigsaw as well, which is probably for people that are at more advanced stages. So nice little jigsaws that we do. We do things like snap. So typical ones just to which are very familiar things. So this one is animal snap. So nice big cards. But yeah, sort of really easy to remember. You can see on the front there, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got like parrots. So they're, I'll move my light, but very instantly memorable kind of products. This one category is things, I think it's vehicles, this one. So it's things like trains and camper vans and stuff like that. So nice, bright, clear images, which you get. We've got an animal album. So I'm showing you sort of like the games and activities ones, because it is one of our more popular sections. These are reminiscence cards. So the way these work, let's get one out. Nice big card. If I can see how we're best going to see it. So it's a selection of photos, basically, about things that may trigger memories for you. So on the back as well, you'll see there's a load of copy, and the copy is saying things like the questions to prompt. So the thing is chicken and hens. And so do you like collecting eggs? Do you prefer poached, fried, or scrambled? So and then there's all a bit about keeping chickens is not just for farmers. So you can kind of pick and choose kind of copy that you might like to talk to someone about, and just sort of, if you've not met that person before but want to sort of start engaging them, particularly useful in care homes. They're a nice set of cards. So there's a couple of different topics of those sorts of games. I'm going to run out of space on this side, so if it hear a crash, my apologies. This one is more sort of creative thing. So you might have seen these things with children's products. It's a similar thing. It's you literally have a paintbrush that you dip in water, put it over the white background, and it reveals an image, and then it dries off a bit, so you can see, you kind of get an outline there, but when it's got water on, it'll go full color. So it's quite satisfying, I think. All different topics that we have on those.
I'm just going to leap in and just say it's quite interesting to see the range of things that are less sort of functional, because I guess in our role as sort of community agents, we get asked a lot about the very functional, like how can I get Gran to remember to take her medicines and things. So it's nice to see that there's quite a range of the more fun stuff, the sort of the day-to-day things as well. So that's really lovely to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something with us as an online shop, we've got to always have that blend as well between those adaptive products that are just to make life easier for you, but also people to be able to give gifts and, help support us through the fundraising side of stuff, so that we can then develop more gifts and, keep products at a lower price, because our fundraising efforts are supporting the product development side of things. So it's quite a nice I love my job, so I'm lucky. Okay, so this product I mentioned briefly on the presentation. So this is our fidget widget box. So you can buy them individually, but you can buy them as a kit as well. And so this was developed with the University of Central Lancashire, as well as the supplier and ourselves. And so it opens it up like that, and then you've got each of the little ones. They're all Velcro attached, and got to unvelcro them, so they kind of go back together, but you can pull them out, and it has inside these lovely little wooden fidget tools, basically. So this is the one that is turn, and it's just got this little wooden, and they're just really nice. There's no, you can't get splintered or anything if you chewed it, although I wouldn't recommend it, but it's not going to hurt you. They've been totally tested to be as safe as anything. So they're quite good. We've got like little beads, and I have to stop my children going anywhere near those, otherwise I'll never be able to put them back in their boxes. I mentioned a phone. So this is, and a lot of people may have had this phone. It's on the high street. So it's the Doro mobile phone. Now, previously it was the 580, I think, and this is the 780, so the latest incarnation. The nice thing about the Doro is it's got 3 programmable buttons. So you can, under there, you can write who it is that is A, B, or C, basically. So those would be your 3 main contacts. It's not on at the moment, but you can put any SIM card into it. Nice big clear screen, and it's also got, if you sign up, if you subscribe, you can also subscribe to their emergency things. So they've got like a little emergency button there. So if you need that emergency assistance, it will then ring the primary contacts that you've said to ring in an emergency, and it'll go through those and just gives you that extra support. But that's a really, really popular mobile phone. And obviously what's happening now is a lot of people saying we really want a smartphone as well, so that we can access the Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So I haven't got a sample of it, but on our website you'll see our latest smartphone, which is simplified. It's brilliant. It comes with a 154-page manual as well, just in case you need to go, what's this functionality? Because I know a lot of mobile phones these days don't come with that, so you just kind of left to work it out for yourself, really. So that's brilliant. What it also comes with is a smart cover. So it essentially is the same. Once you've programmed the smartphone to be your contacts, it has a little cover that slides over it, and then that gives you access to 4 contacts. So it basically, minimizes accidental pushing of the button, that sort of thing. So it's a really nice smartphone, actually, a smart smartphone. So that's cool.
Sorry to interrupt you again, Claire. Can you tell us a little bit more about that emergency contact button you said about on the phone? Is that what, how does somebody sign up to that? Is it a separate service, or is it linked with Alzheimer's Society?
It's a separate service, so do you know what? I can't remember the full details of it. We have the full details there on the website, so it will tell you about it. But yeah, I think it is a subscription-based service which you can decide to subscribe to or not. So you can still have the phone without that. But if you do have it, then I think it's a monthly subscription that you probably pay to the provider of it, because I think it's based on probably roaming technology, and therefore that tends to come at a slightly higher price than just having a normal phone.
Okay, thank you. Sorry to put you on the spot. I know.
No, it's okay. I was just like, oh yeah, I didn't look that up. So.
Just while we're talking about the phone, I presume that phone actually would be ideal for any elderly person that gets a little bit confused with the look of normal phones, because quite often, don't we, Emily, we come across a lot of clients that, oh no, don't do phones because they're scared of the technology.
Absolutely.
So that would be amazing, because it's just really user friendly,
really straightforward. Kind of, green button go, red button off, and then, just like it's quite intuitive. I know we're sort of growing up with technology, but it is still quite intuitive. My dad's got one, and he gets a bit frightened by smartphones and things like that. So he's
perfect.
mid-70s. So that's cool. So I'm clinking here because these are 2 of my new products. So we work with UK companies where we can. So the Welsh Connection is a small Welsh company that got in touch with us originally because they support a charity each year as just fundraising, and they wanted to develop a little range of their own ceramics that supported us, basically. So Kerry, who owns that company, she came up with this design and said, how do you feel about this? And I said, oh, brilliant. Yeah, no, love it. Forget-me-nots, love it. And then I also saw that she does baubles, basically, and their ceramics. Another supplier had mentioned this particular cup to us, so I talked to Kerry about it, and it is a double-handled bone china mug. So we do also sell mugs which are like you can drop them and they won't break. But we'd had feedback that some people just felt it was a little bit undignified. They still wanted to use a bone china mug, but what they were finding with one, because of perhaps their balance or grip was going, they were resorting to children's sippy cups and feeling it was very undignified. So Kerry had this lovely double-handled mug that they were just using, because I think it's like Welsh love cups. It's reminiscence of that. So what she's done is she's designed the little forget-me-not design, and a percentage of her sales that she does through her site will come to us, but she's also sold them to us as well, so that we can sell them direct on our website. And then I saw she was doing some lovely handmade, it's all hand thrown in Wales. She was doing these lovely baubles as well. So I just thought, actually, that's quite a nice idea. If somebody wants to remember a loved one who may have passed on, or even just show their support for us, that bauble might be of interest to people. And that, like, literally, we sold out in the first 3 days I had it on the shop. So I think other people felt the same as well. And I've just ordered another 400 in. So really popular.
They're beautiful, those two, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really, really lovely. And what a lovely idea for the cup, because I know exactly the plastic type beakers that you're referring to. To have that cup, I think, is fantastic. So well done, that lady that thought of that. That's brilliant.
Lovely idea.
The amount of people that always say tea tastes best in a china cup.
Exactly.
That's what they remember as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. And we have a matching single handle one as well. So and a jug, and a milk jug, or jug for lemonade. And then sorry, go on.
I was going to say, just how do people get hold of the catalogue then, Claire? Because I know a lot of people don't have access to online, or don't you like to use online, and they can order the catalogue. How would they go about ordering the catalogue?
Absolutely. They can either email me at trading@alzheimers.org.uk and give me their address, and we'll get one sent from the warehouse. Or you can telephone the warehouse on their number, which is 0300 124. I've got to check 0900, and that's a local rate one, and ask for a catalogue to be sent to them that way. And if you just can't wait and just want to see it in its condensed format, when you go to the online shop as well, right at the bottom there's a link that says downloads, and you can download a digital version of it as well. So,
okay,
yeah, a few ways.
We'll see in the dementia support worker, we can order them on your behalf as well.
Excellent.
Yay, we love you.
Excellent. Thank you.
So it's good. Yeah, loads of people. The more we get out and about and can get our catalogue to people, then the better. Or our online shop. Majority of our sales are through the online shop, but there's nothing like a cup of tea and a biscuit and a browse through a catalogue, is there? So.
Perfect. Yeah, and there would be some fantastic Christmas presents in there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Isn't there? Really good. Yeah.
So,
any more to show us, Claire, or was that the last?
Oh, there's always more, but it's stopping me more. I mean, one of the things I will just mention, this is our Chief Elf mug. We've got Elf Day coming up as a fundraising thing in offices on the 3rd of December, I think it is. So yeah, that's one of the products you can buy, and there's also, I think behind me, I don't know if you can see, there's an elf t-shirt that you can buy. I have elf headdresses, you name it. And I'm also starting to look now, so now that the Christmas catalogue's up and we're just managing all the sales and making sure supply chains happen and getting all our stock in, I'm now starting to turn my attention to the May catalogue, because I'll need to have those products ready to select for sort of February, March time. So there's little things I'm looking at with suppliers. So for instance, this is a little stick-on starfish type style light, but very, very bright LED based light. It comes with a little sticker that you can put anywhere, stairs, cupboards, and upside down, and it's a motion sensor one, so it'll come on for a couple of minutes. So it's not unusual, but it's just a nice little design at a good price point. This supplier has sent me this, which looks like a little reminder clock, but actually when you open it up, you've got space for pill tablets, and then you can put your reminders in of when you want it to which days, and what times you want it to beep at you to tell you. So that's just like a nice pocket one. We do bigger ones on the online shop, but I thought that was quite nice. And then I have a whole box of lights. We do quite a lot of eco stuff, so all of our Christmas cards, just to let you know, they're all fully recyclable, even the ones with foil. A lot of people think you can't recycle foil on cards, but you can. So all of our cards come with cello wrap that decomposes and can all be recycled, and we're trying to get nice ranges of cards and gifts that have that sort of environmental sustainability to them as well. So what's selling very well at the moment are seed cards. So we have a lot of cards with seeds impregnated into the paper, so that once you've sent it, you can plant it and get wildflowers. And then this supplier, which I like at the moment, so my kids are like, oh, it rustles. So it's a reusable fabric gift wrap. So I'm trying to sell it as an heirloom for your family. So you buy this gift wrap, I'll show you it in a minute, but it's very noisy, so I won't pick it up until I finish talking. But basically you can wrap things up. It comes with these beautiful silky cords to wrap it up. It comes with a little fabric gift tag pocket. And the idea is, you give it to someone as kind of part of the gift. Or if you like, my family, we end up with a dustbin bag full of gift wrap at the end that I feel really bad about. So I figure this one, I'll be able to wrap it up and go, right, next year we'll customize it with a bit of holly on top or something. And that's me done and dusted. But the company have made it rustle. So it's so exciting. So I'm going to show you now. So that's the gift wrap. And you can see there's a little tag on it and a button, but it rustles. So it's just like opening a present. So I think
I love that. I think all presents should come with sound effects.
Yeah.
I know, it's fantastic, isn't it? I want one of those,
So I
definitely.
think any of our HEP products, our helpful everyday products, will look brilliant wrapped in that and be a great gift for them. Yeah, I'm getting off topic now, so I will stop. But if there's any questions, I'm happy
Claire,
to take questions.
that's just been fantastic. Thank you so much for showing us all those. It must feel like Christmas every day in your house. Packages arriving with things to test and to look at.
I'm very lucky. I love my job.
Yeah, we've Emily, bless her, has been busy typing away, and we've put all your contact details into our comments box. So even for those people that haven't been able to watch us now, if you're watching us on catch up and they've got any questions, please put your questions into the comments box and somebody will get back to you with an answer. We've put all your contact details in there as well, so that anyone else that's watching can contact you. And really, unless there's any questions, Emily, have you got anything you want to ask? Any questions at all? I did have one actually, just about if somebody has dementia themselves, or they're caring for somebody with dementia and they're not sure where to start. They know they need some help and support. Where should they start? Do they sort of go to the website and choose some products, or can they get some advice on what might suit them best depending on their needs?
Well, if you know that you have that dementia, it sometimes is difficult without the carer pointing out or saying what you need. But it's come to us and have a referral, and we can do more than help you with other various things, and get a support worker involved to help you to get all of the things and look at what you might need and suggest a few things, because like I said, sometimes you don't always know you need it.
Yeah, and not knowing what's available either. I've learned a lot today about what's out there.
Absolutely, because and people don't have the computer, and when people have a diagnosis, sometimes the carers are overwhelmed, so they don't always see what could help best, especially when it's something like the mugs. And you're right, they do go for products that are in supermarkets because that's the places they are. They don't always know that there's the catalogue around. And so when we're talking amongst other things, this is something that we lead on to quite often.
And the same with trading, we'll quite often get a query in about a product. So some of the helpful everyday products will be reviewed by people that have bought those, so they're quite useful to read through those reviews, and people can get a feel for it. But people can drop us an email at trading@alzheimers.org.uk, and we'll give them advice as best as we can based on our experience. But equally, if you order a product and it isn't right, then get in touch with us, and we can refund you if you return it. So not a problem.
Fantastic. Ladies, thank you so much. Really, it's been lovely to meet you, and lovely to spend some time with you and to look at all your lovely products that you've got out there. And hopefully you'll come back again.
Definitely, yeah.
See us again, and we'll chat a little bit more and look at all your lovely products.
Brilliant.
So
I've got 100.
Thank you so much. I think we can end today. I hope everyone's enjoyed watching. As I said, if you're watching it on catch up, then please drop us a message if you've got any questions, and we'll get back to you. So all that's left to say is, again, thank you so much, and goodbye from all of us here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.